So, on a scale of 1 to 10...
Wait, 1 being the least?
1 being... 10 being...
hot garbage.
Yes!
And 10 being like, oh my god, this was amazing. I want to rewatch this scene for the rest of my life until I die.
It's a type of...
Did I go too far? Was that a little bit too much? Anyway, let's
starting off, I want to talk about what's your opinion on the overall story of the movie? On a scale of 1 to 10.
I give it like a 6.5 to a 7.
7?
It was kind of predictable. I haven't played the games, but I already figured out that the yellow rabbit was Afton. No, it wasn't bad. Is it like top notch? No.
I would agree with you on the 7 because it's not true to the original. It's not exactly the same. There's some things I felt that were missing, and I was hoping that there'd be a little bit more horror.
It felt a little forced. Like they were trying too hard to like push the story along. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I can see
also, that Vanessa chick annoyed the shit out of me because she just like avoided questions.
Well,
and I'm like, dude, this chick is sketchy. Okay?
He knew that. He figured it out
how do you, like, she just gonna ignore shit? Well, who is this bitch? Anyway, continue.
So, characters on a scale of 1 to 10. Overall, the characters, how do you think they're portrayed? You know...
Again, I have no knowledge of the games, so I don't know if I can...
Okay, so for your information, we do not have very much information on either Mike or Afton, unless you consider the books, which is where Afton shows up a bunch more, but that is considered an alternate universe where similar things happen. It's a weird...
Yes. The dream thing was cool. I liked that. I don't understand the scene with him talking about the book with his friend and, like, a mall food court at the beginning that I guess it was supposed to be a little nod to later.
It was supposed to I think it was supposed to explain what the book was about.
But what is the book? But the book had nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Well, the book was him. It was explaining to him how he was supposed to reenact that dream and see more details.
I guess, but it just...
Yeah, I think it was more of an explanation.
Kind of, but like it was there, but it wasn't. It was weird. Anyway.
And then I explained that whole thing of him thinking the kid was being kidnapped.
That's true.
So characters. We're talking about characters here.
Characters. Give me this. Just ask like one specific character at a time.
Okay, so what do you think about Mike?
I admire him as a hard worker. But like as far as him as a person, as a character in this fictional universe, he was alright. Kind of annoying. His aunt, though, I really wanted to punch her in the throat for being a little see you next Tuesday. That's for sure. I'll give her that. She was good at pissing me off.
I'm so glad she died. I'm actually...
I know. Me too. I was kind of glad. I was like, oh, I hope she doesn't make it. And she didn't. And I was like, fuck yeah. Bitch got what she deserved. And then they don't have to deal with her anymore, right?
Yep.
So.
And then Abby.
Also, like, she was so mean to her attorney or whatever. And I was like, dude, just peed his pants. I saw it. Bro peed his pants.
The guy's just sitting there and he's just like...
He's like, I shouldn't be listening to this. She's like, sit down. And he was like, okay. Anyway. That was me crying like a fat man.
So Abby.
This is a sister, right?
This is a little sister.
Why? Okay, please, random side note. Why do they always give the little girls in these movies, like, shit haircuts?
Well, it's also, again, takes place in the... 90s, early 80s.
Okay, well,
late 80s, early 90s.
Still, why do they? It's like a scary movie thing. Every time there's like supposed to be a scary movie or whatever, they give the little girl some like creepy, stupid, ugly ass haircut. Like, can't we just give them normal hair?
I
know that's not relevant to the question, but that's just a side thought that came into my brain hole. So anyway, she was fine. Although I'm a little concerned how she was like, oh, they tried to kill me. Can we go back and visit them? Like, excuse, what?
She didn't try.
Are you? Yes, at the end, she was like, "Can we go back and visit them?" She wanted to go hang out.
No, because they basically
they tried to shove her into the thing that was gonna like and take out her insides and turn her into one of them. Like that's not cool.
That was Afton's control over them. They explained.
Yeah, but can you guarantee that they're not gonna try that shit again? Because they want to play forever in their kitty dream world.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. See, that's.
Did you? So there's. Do you remember Circus Baby from the slideshow?
I thought it was Balloon Boy.
Circus Baby. I'm talking about Circus
Oh, that's the one that looked like a
Baby. Clown.
clown.
The Jingle
Well,
Bell
Balloon Boy
shoes.
looks like a clown too.
So there's a.
But it's the girl version one.
So
okay.
Baby's very.
Is that the one that they were trying to put her in the thing that's gonna?
No, that's a thing from the books. I don't have a picture of it with me at the moment. But so Circus Baby's become very prevalent in a lot of stuff for some reason because she's in the main series the daughter of Afton.
But I thought Vanessa was the daughter.
In the movie, she is. So that's what.
Oh, so that's not. That was just like a little twist they put in the movie to make it like ooh.
And so
although for the record, okay, Vanessa would be fired. She would go to jail if they found out that she was just hoarding dead peeps in an old building.
She wasn't doing it. No, it was her dad.
But she knew they were there.
She did. But she was scared of him.
Oh yeah, and like they're all gonna believe that there's like the cops are gonna believe that there's evil little ghost children hanging out in these animatronics and they just like to kill for fun. I mean, let's be real.
You saw what happened to Sam and her friends.
Well, I hope Afton's ass is dead. Although
I'm actually kind of
okay. Here's my thing. So Afton dies at the end, right? More or less. He gonna die. He's bleeding out in the bunny suit. But that just means that his soul now is going to take over the bunny suit. He's just going to come back and do the same thing all over again.
That's what happened with Springtrap, if you remember.
No, I don't remember. I told you everything you told me from before.
Remember Flesh Bonnie?
Is out of my brain.
Flesh
it was
Bonnie,
there and then it was gone. It's gone.
Flesh Bonnie.
Pretend it didn't happen. I don't remember.
You don't remember Flesh Bonnie? Okay.
Fleshy Bonnie.
Fleshy Bonnie. Remember
Which
that?
one's Bonnie?
Bonnie's the bunny.
Okay, that's right.
Remember the yellow bunny with the well, it was green and had like all the saggy flesh bits.
All the entrails.
Yeah. Remember that?
Sexy. All right, continue. Who else? I already told you what I feel about Vanessa.
What about William?
Which one's William?
Afton.
Oh, William Afton.
Or I forgot what his name was.
I mean, I love him as an actor, so there's that. And he did a pretty good job at the beginning. And I was like, they wouldn't use this guy so much at the beginning if he didn't have a role later in the movie. So I was kind of waiting for him to pop back up.
He acted really awkward in the beginning, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, I knew
so that didn't completely shock me. I think it was supposed to be like a surprise, but it wasn't that surprising. Mm-hmm. But this is why I don't watch horror movies.
But it wasn't really scary
because
there was that weird scene where I felt it was really off-putting. Was that scene where they built the fort?
I don't know if I would call this a horror movie, to be honest.
So
I don't think it falls into the horror genre.
According to what Scott and Blumhouse are talking about, they're going to try and take all the critical feedback from all of the fans about this movie, and they're gonna, when they're making the second movie, they'll take every single bit into consideration.
Well, that's a lot of research.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot for them. But yeah, I don't know if I would consider this a horror movie. Maybe more of like a psychological thriller than a horror. I told you about what I think about Vanessa, and I told you what I think about... Oh, who are we on? We're on Afton?
We did Afton, yeah, we're on Afton.
I mean, his character was sketchy from the beginning, so again, it didn't really surprise me that much.
Another theory.
Also, can we just give him an award for being literally the worst dad ever?
The
worst dad ever.
Wow, a lot of people would feel that.
Seriously, toxic. Bad dad. He's not getting anything for Father's Day. Anyway, what's next?
Small little theory thing, because in the games, Mike is the son of Afton.
He had a crush on his sister.
So there was a whole thing about that maybe Afton, that's the reason why Afton actually flinched at the name, is because he recognized the last name.
So his mom had an affair.
That's a theory.
Ooh, that's juicy. I want the tea on that one. That I could get behind.
That's an
maybe he did. Sorry, edit that part out.
What do you think of the atmosphere of the movie? Like the overall, like how the scenes were set, how everything
So again, this is where I would say it was less horror and more psychological thriller. But as a big fan of like Alfred Hitchcock and other psychological thriller types, it's not horror, it's thriller. So where they leave more to your imagination, which is way worse than whatever they can put on screen, right?
We're gonna have to play. There's a psychological.
I appreciate some of those aspects. I do like that they did a pretty good job at making the place creepy as fuck.
I didn't say anything of my thoughts besides the story. So by the way, my thought on the characters, really the same. They were kind of.
We're not interviewing you. Nobody cares what your thoughts.
My opinion on the atmosphere is they did a very good job at like making things feel like it was in the game. pretty close to everything. Like the chairs, that surprised me the most.
Attention to detail.
There's lots of attention to detail, and it was very neat.
That's always appreciated when they do
Yeah.
things like that.
That's my thought. So you already went over the theme, which was horror. It was a horror movie.
Again, I
not
don't think
really.
it was horror. I mean, there was some like blood and gore, but it wasn't like super.
Well, because they also want to make it PG-13 since that's the main demographic of FNAF
Yeah,
nowadays.
they can have it like super grody, which is okay though, because I would actually prefer they didn't do that stuff. Again, I prefer a psychological thriller over a horror because they leave more to your imagination and let you kind of just make it up in your head what you think it would look like.
I think that's the psychological thriller part that you're talking about is especially that scene right at the end where he is dying. Afton is like dying and he's like sitting there like dying, and all of a sudden he goes, "I always come back," and he like just purposely kills himself by putting the head on.
Yeah, because he wants to die and become one with his now meat suit and
His fursuit,
his fur
his
meat suit.
fursona.
Meat suit. I mean, he had a meat suit, but now he's got a new one that's got like extra electrical bits. So he's got an exoskeleton, a furry exoskeleton. Heck yeah!
Do you remember that they're like inside parts of the animatronics are called endoskeletons for inside skeletons?
Yeah, that's called language. I love that you learned how
Okay.
endo and exo work.
Okay, so
we will learn things.
this may be a little bit less on a you part, but your opinion on references.
Well, I don't know because I've never played.
Well, you saw the characters, so you think they were accurate? I mean, like the way that things were referred, like at least the characters. So you think about the balloon boy? Does that look
The
accurate?
balloon boy was fucking freaky as hell.
He
I
was
think that was
already
probably the scariest part of the whole goddamn movie.
This is
He
two
just like
times
popping up on
Matt
it.
Pat would be considered a reference.
Yeah, no, I heard as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, "Hey."
So apparently, when they originally did the scene, Scott wanted him to do like the full on. It's just a theory, but they said it looks so off putting because usually if you said something like that, people would be like,
Yo, what is wrong with that guy?
but nobody did it because they weren't supposed to. The background characters, so they're like, yeah, just say it like normal, not like you're.
yeah,
it's your
I mean, it
everyday.
doesn't matter. He still said it.
And this one small thing is I feel really bad for Sam because she seemed like a really good character. She didn't really want to be there, and then she ends up dying because her brother and his friends went to the pizzeria and she had to follow them in.
She
did tell
knew
them
what she was doing was wrong. She was doing it because of whatever reasons, social.
I feel like they were
Economical.
trying at the very beginning of the movie where like there's a connect, there's a like might be a love thing between him, Mike and Sam because the way she kind of like flirted with him.
Oh, I didn't think that.
Yeah.
I thought that like Sam kind of had a crush on him,
That.
but he obviously didn't return the thoughts. But
No.
it was very obvious that he had a thing for Vanessa.
What? Oh, I missed that completely.
Well, yeah, you're a dude. So he and Vanessa had like a thing, kind of.
All
It
right.
was like that kind of platonic friendship that could become more.
What do you think of the acting?
It was decent. I mean, obviously these guys aren't like grade A actors.
No.
I mean, the actor who did Steve Afton, I don't remember
Steve
his-
Afton.
Steve
William
Afton, whatever Afton, that guy. Sorry, he's Steven. Shh, shut up. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never seen this shit before. I don't play the games. And I will say the actors that did that, well, they weren't. They're YouTubers that acted in this. They did really well.
Corey X Kenshin is
But I would say it's probably because they're so used to being on screen all the time.
and Matt did
And
theater
it is.
classes.
I mean, it is kind of like acting when you're on YouTube and it's your persona or whatever.
And if Mark was in the movie, Mark's been doing.
You know, I'm
movies
sorry,
and shows.
Mark. I'm sorry, but I'm very disappointed because it would have been hilarious to have Mark in that opening scene as the security guard that
Oh
dies
man,
or whatever.
If they get it,
He would have been. He would have been perfect.
I
For
would
that.
have loved if they did like the old red-haired Mark from the original FNAF videos. He had the red hair.
They put a little pink mustache pin on
Yeah.
his shirt or something. Would have been hilarious. They could have done a lot of stuff, but yeah, Mark, I'm disappointed in you for not being in the movie.
Well, hey, time's in line up. He's working on.
I don't
Brian
care,
Long,
Mark.
An actual
You
horror
could have.
movie.
Okay, Mark could have done that in a day.
Yeah, but his timing just didn't line up, and he's the main character of this movie.
Okay, I do also have another question.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how he had the poster on the ceiling in his room?
Yes.
Okay. How did he get the poster up there? If he doesn't have a ladder, And if he did have a ladder to put the poster up
You
there,
watched him take it down. Remember?
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is how did he get it up there if he couldn't get it down?
Oh, have you not? Did you never do that as a kid? Where you try to put something on like up high, as you just like jump and just
That's not the
slap
point.
tape. He probably did that too.
But then he ripped it. When he put it up, he had to have had like a step stool or a ladder or something.
Or what
and he
you do
didn't
is you
think
take Abby.
of using
He
that.
took Abby, held her around the legs.
Yeah,
and
he
just,
could have. He could have used his little sister, put her on his shoulders, and been like, "Abby, get the poster down. Don't f it up," you know. But no, I've got to rip my ship.
Do you feel like you need to know more for that movie to understand that movie?
No.
No, it was good.
As someone who's never played the games. Hey,
We're busy.
hold on a second. I'll be up in a minute.
I've grown tired of working on this, and it's honestly my fault if this thing doesn't get posted, it doesn't get done. But if you do want to see the rest of this footage, then please leave some support, likes, whatever.